Hello everyone and welcome to VLSI for All. Today we have with us Hitanshu Vibhuti with us. He has done his BE from Electronics and Communication and he has enrolled with us in VLSI for All. And now he is placed as a digital design and verification intern at Avaiva Links. Welcome to the show, Hitanshu. How are you?
First of all, thank you. I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good too. Would you like to introduce yourself for the audience?
Okay, so my name is Hitanshu Vibhuti. I'm currently pursuing my BE from Siagarh College of Engineering, Pune, in Electronics and Telecommunication domain. I'm recently placed as an design verification intern at Aviva Links, which is a product-based company. So yeah, that's a brief intro about me.
Yeah. Would you like to tell us about VLSI for All and what are the courses that you took from VLSI for All?
Okay, so I enrolled in VLSI for all around 6 months ago. So I enrolled in the premium RTL and verification batch.
So, how was the coaching there? Like, what all did you learn basically?
Okay, so yeah, so the coaching is like I would say average. So yeah, some subjects were taught very nicely, like digital, static timing analysis by Alaida ma'am, and the mainly the metastability CDC concepts by the TSMC faculty. So yeah, those drives were really good. Other than that, the current Verilog faculty, Bhumika ma'am also teaches really good. Yeah, so yeah, system Verilog was like average, so you could just learn the theory. So overall, I find it an average course.
Yeah. How did you get into Avaiva Links? How did you apply for it, and how was the interview process there?
Okay, so basically, what happened was when I joined VLSI for All, I started looking for internship opportunities because before joining VLSI for All, I had the knowledge of digital Verilog and STA, but it was like not up to the what we can say the point. So I joined VLSI for All in the month of July after my sixth semester. So basically, after that, I started looking for internship opportunities. So basically, I started applying off campus. I started connecting. So I started asking different industry professionals for guidance and referrals. So basically, one day I just posted that I'm looking for internship opportunities in VLSI domain, especially the front end. So, and with that, I posted my skills and resume. So, I posted it not only on my personal LinkedIn, but in different semiconductor professional groups that are available. So, from there, I was contacted by the director of the company. So, after that, the process of interview began at Aviva Links, which almost took a month. So yeah, that's how I was approached by Avaivaling, and the interview process and everything. It took like 1 month.
Yeah. What were the steps or the rounds in the interview? How many rounds were there?
Okay, so initially, the company is into semiconductor manufacturing, and it is a product-based company which is US based. So initially, I was contacted by the director of digital verification himself. So he told me like he would like to have a technical discussion with me initially. So like initially a telephonic technical discussion was scheduled by Prakash. So he's the director of the company. So Prakash scheduled an technical discussion. So in that half-hour discussion, he asked me about my skills. He was more interested in my projects, and we were. It was I wouldn't say like any of my interviews were like an interview, but it was more like a technical discussion where we were talking about the steps or the approach that I took in making my projects of APP, UART, and etc. So we were talking about those approaches and the interest and everything related to my skill set. So it was a very brief call as he was a very senior person. So after like 2 days, I got a message that tomorrow, like on Friday. So my call happened on Tuesday morning. On Wednesday night, I got a message. Since it's morning in US, so I got a message at night in India that you have an interview at the office. So we would like to invite you to our Pune location office. So basically, I'm based in Pune, so they have an office in Pune. So it was like they told me on Wednesday night that you have to come on Friday. So like yeah, I was I was like panicking real bad because like I hadn't expected this soon, like he will contact me for interview and all. But since I went to the office, so it was also like with the principal engineer and the senior design verification engineer of the company. So basically, they're also like they went through my resume and they were interested in my project. So now, twist that came in my interview was they told me like this is your B project, so you should have the code of your project. So I told them yes, I have the code because I've worked it, I've made it by myself. So then what happened was like I like had to extract my code from the drive. So where I saved my code and I had to explain my code parallelly with the data sheet. So they asked me to explain the protocol. They asked me to explain my project in very deep. So they had multiple questions. They also gave me suggestions like how I could make my code look more industry standard and what are the flaws which I had in my code. So they told me this. So yeah, it was like more of this, but I like yeah, I made like a lot of what we cannot say mistakes, but yeah, I could have there is always scope for doing things in a better way. So they gave me that scope and they told me like they taught me a few things there. So I told them that I'm still learning, and that's the reason why I wanted to join the industry, because I am not aware of the standards. I am doing whatsoever like with the guidance of my mentors. So after like my project, they asked me about Verilog. So basically, they went really deep into Verilog, starting from blocking, non-blocking to the stratified queue events and like all the concepts that you could imagine in Verilog. So yeah, there were twists and turns. So basically, what Prakash told me is you need to be there for like 4 hours at least. But I yes, I answered all the questions in 1.5 hours. So my interview ended up in 1.5 hours. They asked me a little about metastability, CDC, a little about FIFOs, and yeah, so that was my interview with Aviva.
Yeah, it was really great to hear from you. And I would also like to know about your interview preparation process. How did it go and how long did it take you to get there?
Okay, so basically in my third year, I started preparing for, I was initially into the embedded domain. So I used to work on various microcontroller sensors and I have created multiple projects and even I have received a best mini project award from my department because I implemented a CAN protocol system, which is used in automobiles. So that's the reason I started like from embedded, but embedded I couldn't see much scope of growth. Like I saw that things were similar. Even though I didn't explore embedded much, but I seen that it had like a similar trend and it had like same thing to do with interfacing and protocols and everything. So while I was into my embedded, I got to know about the VLSI domain where I could actually work with microcontrollers. I could actually like design a microcontroller rather than working with it. So that's how I thought that I would go for VLSI. So I had a faculty in my college which left and joined the industry. So I contacted him. So I told him to mentor me, so he introduced me to digital electronics. He told me to refer John F. Walkerly. So basically, I prepared my digital electronics from John F. Walkerly parallelly with some YouTube videos, and then I learned Verilog, so my mentor introduced me to Verilog, and I started my preparation in my third year, sixth semester itself. So when my sixth semester started, I started preparing for the VLSI because I knew that it would take a lot of time and I have a long way to go. So that's how I started, and then I started when I started Verilog. So my mentor gave me a task. He just showed me different modeling styles in Verilog. So basically, he told me like you have to write, 7 to 8 possible ways in which you could design a 2x1 mux. So in 3 hours, I did that, and I could I flipped the whole Samir Palnitkar upside down. I just read it. I referred multiple codes, and I tried to write the codes on my own. So then after that, my mentors kept giving me different tasks, and he told me like how I should improve my coding. So that's how I started my preparation, and it went on with different subjects later on, like static timing analysis, what I should study about metastability and all those topics.
Yeah. So why did you choose with going to a job rather than MTech? Because VLSI
Okay.
people who are into VLSI domain majorly prefer doing MTech or MS. Like, why did you choose job rather than higher studies?
Okay, so basically, as I told you, like I had two mentors. So one of my mentors has done his master's and PhD, and he is currently working in a very good position, in a top position in one of the service based company, and another one in a product based company. So my second mentor, who was also my college senior, so what he told me was it is not necessary that you need to go for masters, and you need to have a master's degree to get into VLSI. Right skill sets and right projects with right knowledge, so it is enough for you to bring you in the VLSI industry. As I saw my seniors and multiple guides and mentors who are currently working in industry in companies like Xilinx, AMD, NXP, Qualcomm, and true chip. So these people, they have not done their bachelors, and they have done their bachelors, sorry, not their masters. So they are doing really good in the industry. They are growing at the same pace like one would grow. So what I felt like, instead of giving 2 years and doing masters, I have a year. So I thought that I would use that one and a half year to get the right skill sets under the right guidance of my mentors. So yeah, so that's the reason, because I also understood the potential that my mentors tapped in me. So I understood that, yeah, if I go in the industry with the potential and the right skill set and prove myself, yeah, I could go a long way ahead.
Yeah, we would also like to know what are the skill sets that are required to get into the current role you are into.
Okay, so basically the current skill sets are like basically digital electronics, Verilog. You need to have a basic understanding of static timing analysis, protocols, synchronizers, I would say, then system Verilog, and UVM. So UVM is initially not expected from fresher, as UVM is a really vast subject. You would say like a really vast thing to learn. Even the people in industry with 3 or 5 years of experience uh, are not able to learn it perfectly and master it. So initially on a fresher level, I would say, yeah, up till system Verilog it's enough. If you understand the basics, just the basics, if you have the idea of UVM, so that's more than enough.
Yeah, as a
And
fresher.
also
Yeah.
projects are important, so your projects are something, so that will stand that will make you stand out of the crowd. So yeah, you need to have some really good projects.
Yeah, how important is it to make a perfect resume? Because this generation is not taking resume making that seriously. So, what is your take on it?
Okay. Okay, so basically, I would say resume is just what we could say a photocopy of yourself that you are presenting to the hiring managers or to the team leads or to the company that you want to or you wish to apply in. So basically, presenting a good resume is important. Just copying a template and just changing your name and keeping rest of it as it is. So basically, when I spoke to some of the hiring managers and during my journey, when I made a lot of contacts, so they told me like resume making plays a very important role because when a hiring manager goes through your resume, so he understands that you have made this resume by yourself because of the language, so because of how you write, because everyone has a different style of writing a resume. So what's good for me might be average for you. What's good for you might be average for me. So it's totally like up to the person how he prepares his resume. But his personality, his hard work, and his efforts would reflect in that resume. So I personally went on Canva. I found a free template which looks decent, like not much one with bright colors and designs. I just wanted it to be like simple, sober, and I wanted to like present myself, my skills, my projects, basically myself in that resume. So I'm a simple person. I'm a like simple. I like everything in my life to be kept as simple as possible. So yeah. So basically, I wrote my resume from scratch. So like from the title to design. So I like custom. I designed it by myself. I took a template. Yeah, I didn't like some of it things. I removed it. I added what things I wanted in my so if you go on my LinkedIn profile, if you check my resume, you will find that my resume is very different from the other resume templates because I have made it myself. So yeah, so resume making is a very important step. So people will understand just by seeing your resume because hiring managers go through a lot of resumes. So if they find something similar, the same template and the same wordings, everything same, so they will understand that this resume is copied and they won't probably consider you because see, if a person cannot put efforts in making their resume, then how would the hiring manager hire you? Because how would he know that you are putting efforts, right? So, like resume making is just a way of showing yourself and your will that you're putting some effort. So basically, it just took me like 2.5 hours to 3 hours to customly design my resume.
Yeah, so would you like to tell how important project plays in the resume? What is the role of projects in resume, basically?
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so basically what happens is like if you just write skills, your college and like your about yourself, this is like same. There are like let us say 1,000 candidates, like all thousands will have this thing in common and the projects that you make. Okay, so now let me tell you like what I've seen most of my friends and most of the people doing is they will just write a project down which they have not worked on. They just understand the theory of it. So what happens is like, okay, you can answer the theory. If the hiring manager is, not that interested in going deep into your projects, then yeah, you're off the hook. But let us say if someone wants to like, go deep into your project. So basically I gave two interviews. One was synopsis and one was Aviva links. So basically in both the interviews, the project that I performed, APB protocol, UART, FIFOs, so my third year mini project which I got award for. So they went deep into that project. So what happens is like the interviewer, the manager understands like have you actually taken efforts? Have actually do you actually have the right skill set? So what happens is like projects are just a means of showing your skill sets and the amount of efforts and hard work that you are taking up to stand out from the crowd. So yeah, in both of my interviews, like projects were asked in depth, in detail, and they also made me write these snippets of small parts. In one of the interview, I literally had to present my code just to show them that, yeah, I've done this myself. So there are things about your project that you should be well aware of in depth. So if you are just copying someone else's project and writing the same project description, so yeah, your resume might get selected. It's something, one of the hiring manager said me, like, you have to live with yourself, right? If you get selected on basis of a fake resume, you have to live with yourself. And if you get rejected in the interview because you are not able to explain your project properly, so you lose your credibility. Basically, hiring managers have experience of 10 to 12 years, so they understand, like, if this person is a genuine person. So if you lose your credibility, I think there is no point in uh, like like there is no point in applying and anything. You will just lose an opportunity. And like whenever, like, probably they for next time if you apply even after 6 months, like there might be a remark on your resume or on your, because companies have your data in their database, right? So they might put a remark, right? So you don't want someone be who is not credible, who is not a genuine working in your company. So yeah, even though good projects might get you selected, they might do good things for you, but what I suggest is you should be honest with yourself and with the company, because the institutions are putting their trust in you. So that's how it is established. So what I would say is, my resume stood out differently because my projects were unique. So the way I have written about my project, so it is not written anywhere. If you even check it, like I haven't copied it from anyone's resume. I've just written what I have implemented in my project in my own words, because that's what people want to see. So yeah, so important. So what I suggest is, before applying, you should like do real and like help you understand the language, understand the protocols, understand all the different things in a very better way.
Yeah, I would also like to know what motivated you to get into VLSI domain. How did your journey start into VLSI domain?
Okay, so initially, like in second year, during lockdown, I decided I wanted to do something good for myself. I want to stand out. So basically, I didn't have that herd mentality, like being from EC branch. I just wanted an average IT job like other people. I took EC because in 11th, 12th, I had EC as my bifocal, and I was very interested in electronics. So I took EC for a reason. Like, so when in second year, I thought, people told me, like, you have potential in AI, ML, data science and different stuff. They told me to try, learn languages, as languages like C, C++ are like basic. So if you understand C, C++, is also easy for you to understand Verilog and System Verilog, right? So they are like hand in hand, same syntax, everything is same. So in second year, I learned my C, C++, and I like started doing small projects, and then I realized, like, nah, this isn't my cup of tea. So then I had a subject called microcontrollers, and in my college I met one of my professors. I went to him, I told him I want to do something for myself. So I went in the college and, like, I told him. So then that's how I got started with embedded domain. As it was like lockdown, so I didn't had access to hardware. So I started basically with Arduino simulations using Proteus and different softwares. I started learning how to code different microcontrollers, understanding what are sensors, how I could use those sensors in my system, how my system could be, integrated into a larger. So I also did an internship of 1 month in my future town, which is basically another startup in embedded. So they had an embedded section in their company. So where I designed 50 to 60% of the prototype, which was necessary. that's how, I started getting my interest in embedded. But once I saw, like, just waking up daily, programming microcontrollers, yeah, playing with the data. So I thought, yeah, like, the syntax is same only, the configuration of registers and like a little bit of keywords are changing here and there, like for different microcontrollers. But I found it to be monotonous, like doing the same stuff daily. So then one day I was going through VLSI. I knew that I had VLSI subject in my fourth year. So I explored a little about more about VLSI, and that's how I thought that, I have tried programming, I've tried embedded. Now let us, I was not interested in communication and the microwave domain as well. So I decided that I'll try VLSI for, like 4 months. I'll study basically. So then I understood that the work in VLSI, you have to do new things daily. Like you don't have an option to, copy paste code or do something like that, because the technologies are ever evolving. So yeah, so that's how I started. I took it as a challenge because I love doing new things every day. Same thing, doing same things for rest of your life is something that I don't want to do. So that's how I started my journey in VLSI.
Yeah, it was a beautiful journey, Thanshu, and we would also like to know if you have something to tell to the aspiring VLSI enthusiast.
Okay, so my message would be to the students from, especially the guys from Tier 3 college. So like, just keep preparing, keep upskilling yourself, make as much connections as possible, right? Connect with a lot of people, find people to mentor yourself who are actually working in industry in different companies. Find guides, who could like, tell you about the what skill sets are they looking for, what are the openings, like, like to help you understand the system, how the hiring works in VLSI, how how a candidate is selected. So basically, what I would say is finding a mentor, a guide is important. In my case, I had Dr. Badwaik, who was like one of the professor in my college who shifted into industry. I had Anvay Nagpure. So like, and multiple other people, working in Synopsys, NXP, AMD. So I was very lucky. I thought that, nothing is good with my life. I wasn't getting, responses from company. I wasn't getting, like opportunities. I was feeling that, I also have sometimes had second thought, ki, am I into the right domain? Like, is it actually possible for me to get into VLSI domain? So yeah, I did get those questions sometime. But what I would say is, if you are surrounded by a good group of people, especially your surroundings, the people who you be with are very important. So if you are in a cluster of people who are working in industry, and you have like, the people who are working in industry who have some goals, who have done some great work in industry, contributing to the like ever evolving technologies. So my mentors and the people I had been in touch with. So these people were, the good part in the whole rough journey of my VLSI, to find a job or to find an internship. So basically, yeah, for like I would say, make a good LinkedIn profile, upskill yourself, work on projects. Let it take 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Like it doesn't matter, but try doing project with yourself. If you're stuck somewhere, yeah, don't like try to solve the problem by yourself. Whether it's debugging, whether it's like no, you don't understand how to code a particular maybe block of an hardware. So try finding solution for by yourself, but don't get stuck for a long time. Just ask for help, because as we are like students, we have some time constraints, right? Everyone here in the like who are like currently looking for job in VLSI are either pass out or about to graduate maybe. So they have less time. So what I would suggest is, give time in your projects. Your projects are basically something that will help you develop your logic, that will help you stand out. different. So like when you say when you like put your approach in front of five people, so everyone will give a point, like, yeah, you should do this. Other one would say, yeah, this could be better. One would appreciate, like, yeah, you have done really well. So like if you have like five different mentors and guides, and like you put your approach in front of everyone, you will get input. So then you will understand, like, yeah, so this is the feedback, right? So that's how sequential circuits work. So like basically my life was a sequential circuit. So like there was a lot of feedback. So I had feedback in my journey. So basically the feedback helped me get better outputs. So yeah, so finding good mentors, connecting a lot of people on LinkedIn, going through company portals, websites, contacting HRs, hiring managers, staff engineers is the way to get yourself referred. Okay, so referral also plays an important role. So while you're preparing for journey, like, think after 6 months. Okay, so after 6 months, let us say you are, aiming that after 6 months your preparation will be complete. So just aim that after 6 months you will be having at least one, two to three referrals in each company. So aim for that, just make a list of companies that you actually want to work in. Like if you are a BTech student, just see how many companies are accepting BTech students. What are their criteria? What are they looking for? Just go through this, go through there, just ask people, stay connected with people. You know, like one way I did was for connecting people was I used to ask them questions which I already knew the answers. So yeah, so even though then I started having a technical discussion. Then after that we exchanged the numbers. Then like we became like what I would say is like most of my mentors, like I had three mentors. So like they were like my brothers, ever there for me, even though from their busy schedule. So that personal touch you have to create a bond. So they will take efforts. They will see that you are taking efforts and they would want to invest in you. So show industry out there, the people working in industry, that you are an asset which you would want to invest in. Because like let us say, because like why would someone refer you, right? So if you have the right skill sets, and if someone sees that, yeah, you're working hard, you deserve to be in the space that they are working, yeah, of course they will take you. So yeah. So summing up, I would say like preparation, upskilling, projects, connections on LinkedIn, going through job portals every weekend, like maxing out the connection requests that you send, and finding good mentors. So these are the six key points, and also like a little patience, and the dedication. So you always keep something that ignites the fire in you.
Thank you, Tanshu. It's definitely going to be very helpful for aspiring VLSI students as
Yeah.
well. And I would also like to know about what is your take on VLSI for All and its initiative?
But yeah, VLSI for all is a like a good platform. I basically joined VLSI for all for like basically two to three reasons. First was, I wanted to see what's happening in the training institutes, like the space, right? So that was my main motive for joining VLSI for all, making connections. What's happening, what are other candidates doing, basically comparing myself. So, because see, people say that don't compare anyone with yourself, right? So, but how would you understand your progress if say for all for because there was a huge pool of candidates, right, preparing in the environment. So, just to see what the environment is like and how am I different from them. So people tell like don't compare yourself with others, but yeah, what I would say is like, yeah, that's a like very true thing. But in terms of skill sets, right, in terms of the efforts that they are putting, you should compare yourself with someone who is actually better than you. So that's the reason why I joined VLSI for all. Yeah, VLSI for all has taken a very good initiative. They conduct master classes, free master classes regularly. Rajat provides free guidance to many students, and the amount of help that Rajat provides to the students enrolled in various programs is like commendable. The faculty that I had, uh, that taught me, like, especially Alaida ma'am. So Alaida ma'am was, like, one of my best faculty, and she's one of my favorite faculty. And the reason why I was able to answer every question of static timing analysis in my Aviva and synopsis interview. So yeah, so the faculties are really good. Yeah, though VLSI for all needs a lot of work to be improved. Lot of, approaches need to be changed, which I found, like, are like to be average, like some lectures are average, but yeah, so like this VLSI for all provides the cheapest course on the market. And trust me, it's like, worth for money for someone who does not knows anything about VLSI for all, like just VLSI and how to get a job in VLSI. So yeah, the initiatives, the management of VLSI for all is like really amazing. The faculty, the current Verilog faculty, like Bhumika ma'am. So she also, like, initially the Verilog lectures were like average. For according to me, like, I already knew Verilog. When I came here, I thought that, okay, this I know, like, what's the different thing I'm getting. But the current faculty, Bhumika ma'am, I attended her lectures even though I knew Verilog. So, I learned new things every day from the same concepts that she was teaching in a different way. So, yeah, the faculties, the live lectures, like, two of my favorite faculties were really amazing. I learned a lot of stuff, and like Bhumika ma'am made, a good note document, in which all the notes were written and everything. So, that helped me, like to summarize and to like revise a Verilog in a very short period of time, probably in 2 hours. So yeah, like even the Ashmika ma'am system Verilog lectures, yeah, the coding approach in that lectures were missing, but the understanding of different concepts of system Verilog theoretically is really amazing. So, and the digital electronics lecture by Nikhil sir are really amazing. Even though I did my digital electronics lecture from I studied my digital electronics from John F. Walkerly, but the lectures of Nikhil sir had a different approach, which was easier to understand. I learned new things even there. The TSMC faculty who taught metastability, CDC, FIFO concept, he was the guy. After watching his FIFO lecture, I was able to, I got to know about Sunbus designs and the data, the types of papers they publish, right? So those papers, I would recommend all of the students to refer, because their language is very easy. You can understand whatever they have written in there. So, like, yeah, so after watching that lecture, like, I just, he taught what is asynchronous FIFO, what's happening, how it is working, the pointer synchronization and everything. That's the reason, I started from there, making my own project. Like, first, making my first own project, that was asynchronous FIFO, like, by myself. So I was able to build asynchronous FIFO by myself from that lecture, and that's how, I started making on like projects one after another, uh, like complex projects and complicating different things to understand like what's happening. So yeah, overall VLSI for all is the best you can get on market, and for best price. So yeah, so that's all.
Thank you, Danshu. It was really nice speaking to you, as well
Yeah.
as we got so many good advices from you, which is going to be really helpful for aspiring VLSI students as well. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.